Namaste, Your Royal Majesty, and welcome to Soul Horoscope SuperScope Weekly Report. My name is Witecki. I coin myself as the Sensei to Sirius Joy because I'm on a mission. I believe that we can bring Sirius Joy to planet Earth if we come together, of course. But before that happens, every human being has to come together on the inside. And that leads me to the definition of a superscope. This is a superscope designed to serve more than one part of your personality. If you have a Leo rising, or you have a Sun in Leo, or if you have Venus in Leo, you'll find this superscope serves you. And if you know your rising sign or Venus placement, you can watch my other superscopes. The rising sign will tell you your long-term, multi-lifetime story, where it is, and the Sun sign will tell you where your immediate story is. Venus will tell you where you are so far this year with your personal love story. Now, that said, where are the lions? It's a very important moment, my friend, let me tell you. And I'm also going to tell you that I am a Leo rising, if you don't know, which means my long-term story is Leo. Let me tell you a little story about the long-term story of all Leos. Almost every Leo I have read was actually past life royalty or someone very important in the past life. And the Leo story is that you were born to a condition that is not royal. And it's up to you to make it royal again. So the dilemma is, in the past life situation, you had everything thrown at your feet. And so you stood up and you lived and you loved and it felt great. And you are here to be love projectors. You're here to love yourself and become lanterns of fire and light of like, I am great. You're here to love yourself so much it inspires other people to love themselves. But the problem has been your inner faith. And that's where we are this week, this year. It is the hot topic. It is the most important topic. This is your inner faith, which is a different state of awareness than love. Love is the closest thing to God. I sense, or the Pisces, is kind of like the energy in which the unseen becomes visible to us. So we have a state of awareness that does nothing but kind of scan around us like a satellite listening for trouble. The problem for Leos and Leo risings is that this area of consciousness is littered with everything, all right? So it is our subconscious is what we're talking about, the subconscious. And Leos have to have a self-conscious that is self-loving all the time. That's the whole thing. And so this is the week where you will step into having to love yourself subconsciously, which means that when you walk out the door, it's already assumed that you love yourself. Which you may say is true, but what might be in the way are certain emotions or fears you're afraid to face. And if you're afraid to face certain things like getting on stage or swimming or or any type of, or your abuse, or facing your abuser, any of these emotions that you're afraid to face inside keep you from shining, keep you from loving yourself. And the universe is giving you the opportunity to get rid of and face these fears forever, which will lead to you shining with Jupiter and Leo in just weeks. So I implore you to face whatever that boogeyman is this week, and we're going to talk more about that in the Sirius Joy Farm. But first, let's get serious before we joy. Looking at this seriously, the Sun will pass Pluto this week, thank Goddess for that, which means the struggle between faith and reality will win. I believe faith will win. It has to end. That's the way it is, and we're being forced, I'm talking to myself here, we're being forced to put that emotional faith before reality no matter what. So it's not easy. At the same time, the square between the Sun and Aries will also break by orb by Wednesday. What that means is another struggle that you've had with yourself for a long time, which has been your struggle between inner faith and being faithful and beliefs. When it comes to beliefs, you're an Aries. You're self-centered. You think you know it all. Now, that kind of comes from the past life memory of being everything. And so the difficult nature is, if given the chance, you can be amazing. But you have to have flexible beliefs to let yourself wiggle your way into that situation. So whatever you've been stubborn about in your mind, about like, no, it should be this way, it should be that way, this week you might go, well, who says? Who says it should be that way? And it might be you shoulding all over yourself that is keeping you from the potential of true faith. So it's a powerful week there. Also, Jupiter himself accelerates in a grand way. Literally, we go through 3 degrees in one work week. So it's very likely something in your personal life will challenge you to have to step up the faith. If it hasn't already happened yet, it's possible because of the nature of the planets. At the same time, you will be tested and catch way up on your social reputation, friendship, social networking, Twitter, you name it. Mercury catches up and moves fast. You also have to make many mental decisions and be clear on who you are and where you belong in the world and where you don't. Some of the faith issue has been that you have been putting yourself out in places that your heart doesn't really want. Other parts of you wanted it, but not your heart. And you're a Leo. It's got to be heart-based or it doesn't work at all. And then finally, the full moon is the peak of the drama this week, which will be some sort of showdown between faith and reality. That could be health. That could be that will I make the deadline? Will I make the rent? Will I make this? Will I make that? That's faith versus reality. Realize in that struggle that the laws of reality must change. I don't care what the boss says. I don't care what the union says. How do you feel? Do you have faith? Those are the questions. And we'll leave it for the Sirius Joy Farm. So coming up, we've got our Sirius Joy Farm. We're going to become joyful now and focus on the joy. I got you a sneak peek at 5, and I've got a serious question for you after this little mini-mercial. This week in Soul Garden 8.0, in our new super blog Namaste Today section, check out Mary Inchineri. She's a Grandmaster Cancer, and she's back to help you face the final wrap-up of Jupiter in Cancer. Then hop over to Modern Goddess, where we have our guest writer, Jen Jurarsik. She's an independent female filmmaker, and she's going to tell you how she steps into her power. And lastly, don't forget, I've got a special surprise in each of 12 horoscopes, as well as a little survey. All that and more in the new Soul Garden 8.0. Howdy! Welcome to Sirius Joy. Now, this is the Sirius Joy Farm, and I just got to tell you, I'm rarely going to be serious. Why? Well, because this is designed to be the joyful side of the horoscope, and there's a law here, adult 5 years old and up only. I've never met any inner child over 7 years old. I believe the inner child stays age 7, and that as adults, we're supposed to play. So, you're going to see the truth of me in these videos, that I'm a complete wackadoodle. But I encourage you to be as wacky and to go as far as your inner child wants. And this little diagram here is going to show us exactly what the full moon's going to do to you between Friday night and Saturday morning. So let's take a look, shall we? First, let's look at God. Here it is. It's all between faith and actual practice and reality. On the faith side, that's serious. You got to be serious about your faith. You can't be wackadoodle on that side of life. You got to be very serious, which means you are very decisive that you're going to have this faith and you stick to it and you stay on your mountain. This is a very important moment for Leos and Leo risings. This moment will determine how much you can go with Jupiter in your sign. How much baggage will weigh you down. Now, the interesting thing about this is on the other side is your lifestyle. In order for your faith to happen, something will have to die in your life, a sacrifice. And I'm not talking about an animal or a child. I'm talking about you might have to sacrifice a certain habit that keeps you back, holds you back, is an excuse for the lack of faith. You understand what I'm saying? So between Friday night and Saturday morning, you need to have a loving prep for your faith. You got to be already ahead in manifesting what your heart wants and hold that space for the entire night. Now, there's one more thing I want to show you, which is where the moon fits into there. Right there. Notice the sound effect of the baby crying. This means that you're going to feel like crying around your life, health, and reality. You're going to want to cry, like the Mona Lisa there. And this is going to put extra pressure on having to have better faith in yourself. Now, there's one more thing I do want to show you. Unfortunately, you'll have to hear the cry again. Let's bring back God, please. And that is the Grand Trine. Boom. So this Grand Trine is actually what's going to ascend you through the whole situation. Let me explain real quick. We have the Sun and Jupiter finishing the Jupiter transit in faith. So you're going to grow in faith, grow in psychic ability. Down in the house or area of feelings, part of your roots, you have to be Saturn serious about your feelings. Not feel serious, but be serious about them feeling okay. On the other side is Jesus, Pisces, Neptune there on boundaries, which means that in order for you to ascend, you have to be very compassionate with all of your boundaries, very easygoing about what doors open and what doors close, very willing to close and open any doors as necessary to keep your feelings happy. This is the magic triangle, my friend, that you want to hold space in for the whole moment of the full moon as well. You want to hold these two notes. And for those who are watched over by my GA Venus network, I will be reminding you that day. So I have one little surprise for you. If you're watching your horoscope on soulgarden.tv, you know already that I have embedded for free Jupiter Gets Emotional, a video that will help you with this moment as well. I recorded it about a year ago. I'm going to give it away to you for free because I love you, and I sincerely hope that you can make this ascension up and out of your old emotional baggage. Now, next week, I'm just going to tell you, this door may come down and I might be something else because I'm a freak of nature, and I reckon you should be too. I'll see you. Let's go wrap this up, shall we? Here we are back in the tranquil setting of what I call Witecki Theater. This awesome star-twinkling, moonlit environment. You'll see it all over the new Soul Garden 8.0. Wherever you want to lay down like a magic carpet for you just to chill out, get spiritual, you'll see. There's a lot of cool things at Soul Garden, including the newly remodeled soulmart.me, where right now you can buy a 1-hour reading with me and get a free 30-minute follow-up. Now, this is an excellent sale for people who've never had a reading because you'll really learn to appreciate the power of astrology in your life. And if you've already had a reading with me, well, then you know the power. This is a great reading to get to the bottom of an issue and end it for good. Details are all available and a video at soulmart.me in the new remodeled soulmart.me. Also, I've got a class series coming out this summer. The first one's called So You Want to Be an Astrologer, eh? Now, this course is really designed for you to have some fun. Bring your chart. We dive into all sorts of aspects of your astrology, and you'll walk away knowing a lot about yourself. So this one's open to the general public, no prerequisites. You'll love it. If you're interested in going further, the next class is, yes, I do want to be an astrologer. At which point I'll talk about using astrology in your profession. I'll share some stories with you about how I got started and where I got taken advantage of, and even reading certain celebrities and things like that. I'm not a name dropper, but in classes, I'll be honest, this is a great class to really figure out if you want to pursue it further. If you do, I've got a class called The Art of Reading People. Now, this class is open to the general public as well, and I'll share with you kind of how to sum up a person in a moment using numerology, astrology, and psychic ability, and determining am I psychic or not. So there's some fun like little quizzes in there that help you determine where you are and where you're not. Then if you're interested in diving deep, I've got natal chart interpretation, class 1, class 2, and class 3. It's going to take at least 3 classes to understand it. And finally, my favorite, the ethics of free will in a reading. You know, the truth is psychics get a lot of information, but we don't always share it. Why? Because we don't want to interfere with free will. So this is a fascinating topic and describes a lot of why people perceive to have bad readings or people do have horrible readings, and it's open to the general public too. So all of these are available at soulmart.me and going to be a lot of fun. They're only 2 hours. They're $49.95, and you can come on your webcam. It's awesome. I love new technology. I love HTML5. Now, if you're still on YouTube, hey, do us a favor and please subscribe to our channel. We do appreciate that. If you're on Facebook, you can like our channel by going to soulgarden.me, and you can come to the new shiny penny soulgarden.tv anytime. Don't forget, I've got a little treat waiting for you in each of the 12 horoscopes. I'm so grateful you've shown up for me. I am here showing up for you. I love you. I'll see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.
Who cares?